Edenfield South verandas. We've been in here before, guys. But first of all, good morning. Welcome to another glorious Sunday morning video. We're just going to do a little ride around, see what we can see. We may even revisit a few places that we've already been. Sometimes I like to see how it's, developed even since it's been open, but we're off of Newton Terrace and Robinette Run, so we're just out gallivanting. We're gonna ride around here. Village of Edenfield, close to La Grange. I'm not sure exactly when this neighborhood got released, but it really wasn't that long ago, to be honest with you. A little Rigdon Court, but it's been long enough ago to where people have moved in. Some people have got some custom landscaping already put in. I do like verandas, which these are all designer homes, just with privacy fencing. And these streets, nicely paved, still very fresh, beautiful houses, but they don't have curbs. As far as availability and all that, I have no idea. You'd have to call the village's sales department. You can go on the village's website and search homes, and I'll pull up the Village of Edenfield Verandas South or something like that, and it'll tell you what's available. You can even find out what's pending, kind of give you an idea what's available out here and what the prices run for. You can even get a hold of salespeople and find out what your bond's going to be, which is significantly a lot higher than previous areas. Wasn't long ago that we came right in here with the Kim Villas, Kim Patio Villas, right off of Proventure Path and Michael Way. I'm starting to wonder if we are either in Edenfield or bleeding into La Grange. But anyway, we're here at the Kim Villas. Let's see how these have been selling and people getting moved in or not. Depending on what your circumstances are and why you're buying a villa, whether it's going to be your permanent home, a vacation home, you know, something like that, because you're a snowbird or what have you, there's several houses to choose from that will fit those needs according to how you plan to use it. Some of these homes are actually set up to where they could be permanent residences, and some are a little bit more trickier than others. And so in other words, it's like some of them are in to where, you know, if it's a vacation home, there are a few models where you go in and there might not be a pantry, there may not be a whole lot of storage, you know, little things like that, that kind of feel like it's more of a temporary house. Now here's a Haven that's been sold. Pretty. Is that a nest or a retreat? I can't remember that one. And here's a Haven that's a flipped floor plan, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1 car garages. Excuse me. I remember when they were building what they called porte-cocheres. Well, they were carports. And you had deep driveways. But now they've closed them all in, so all the Havens, all the ones that were carports, there's a few models that they've kept, and they just simply closed it in to a full garage instead of a carport. I guess they realized that carports just weren't as popular, and it seems to me that they've kind of figured out that which models sell the best. Here's another one right here. This one's sold. So on this side, on the outer perimeter of the houses, they're a little bit larger. So you could have, say, a moonstone, you know, it could be an emerald, topaz, ruby, what have you. They're usually full car garages. A couple of them will have a 2-car garage. Then you got these models here with the 1-car garage and a separate golf cart garage. But anyway, that was another quick run back through the Kim Villas. We're on Provincial Path. We're going to come up to Corbin Trail. But you come on Corbin Trail, hang a left right here on La Grange Loop. Village of La Grange Loop. And then right here, right to your left, is the Village of La Grange's Recreation and Postal Center, where you come get your mail. People having to be let in for the pool or the bathroom, something. But man, there's been quite a few houses. Oh, they just jumped on the walking path. So all these houses coming up in this area. Now we're also getting close to the village of Lakeview. I actually haven't been around here in a little while since they built these houses. You can still hear contractors up here on installing rooftops. Coming down Shack Rider, all this construction going on in here, and you've got a few houses that are bought, sold, and moved in right in the midst of the construction. And check out this section right here. Come around this bend, and I still think, what are we, are in the village of La Grange, I think. I get confused anymore. I usually don't have time to like pull up a map and look exactly everywhere I'm going. But anyway, we're out here just riding around scoping things out, and I just like to look at the houses. Look how this house right here, it's got a pool, there's like a hot tub and everything right in there, a jacuzzi or something, and it all backs up. And look at these houses, huge pool area, and they all back up to this golf course. The golf course right here, and you can see the golf cart path. See a lot of those pods around here. They're quite popular. People use them a lot. And these are La Grange South verandas. La Grange South verandas, right off of Hayden Way and Glen Trail. And yeah, we did come in here before, and I wanted to see how things are developing as far as people getting moved in. This large house right here is pending. I just passed by Shayna Lane. So it's very fresh. You can see, look at the asphalt. Very brand new looking. That's what I like. I love the way they do these neighborhoods. It seems like it's the courtyards a lot of times, veranda neighborhoods, where the designer home streets, they don't get a fresh coat of paint, if you will. You know, when they come out of these little veranda neighborhoods, and they'll do all the construction work on the first layer, dirt and all that stuff, and then they get it all cleaned up, and when the houses are completely finished, they dropped that last layer of asphalt down. So you get to move in to a beautifully brand new and clean neighborhood. I mean, who would love to buy a brand new home? You move in and your streets are fresh, clean. It just looks a lot better than what ends up happening on the designer streets. You know, those roads get used on so much, right? That they end up looking like they've been there for a couple years. There's a house right here that's pending. So it looks, by appearances, there's still several available verandas. Now, if you're interested in this particular area, La Grange South verandas off of Hayden Way, you just roll down Shana Lane, then you need to get a hold of the Villages sales department and let them guide you as to what's available and all those details. Really nice neighborhood, quiet, brand new and fresh. That is until, yep, I said it, folks, until. But here you go. La Grange South verandas looking really sharp. But that is until, let's give you a comparison. You just saw that fresh black compared to, you know, the typical gray, oil stained, beat up streets that winds up happening on these main streets. Excuse me. I say until because once you start getting landscapers, the trash trucks, you know, your lawn care people come and treat the lawn, you know, your gardeners and delivery trucks and so on, and they start pulling up, with the exception of electric. You know, Amazon uses electric vehicles, but a lot of those folks, they come in and their transmission is leaking fluid, you know, they're leaking oil, maybe some hydraulic fluid. And all of a sudden, you know, you start getting these greasy, oily splotches on the road. Brand new patio villas. Once again, brand new patio villas. These neighborhoods all over. And you can just see the scope of how fast they build these houses. So maybe you want to be in this area off of Munn's Path and Tremblay Trail. If you look it up, it'll give you an idea as to exactly what village this is. I'm not going to say it's Oak Hollow. I'm not sure where it ends and where it stops, you know, in these areas anymore. But check it out. Now, can anybody tell me what's different? You got a patio villa right here. Not only did they kind of change the look of it. Let's walk up a little closer. Reason why I walked up to this is you turn right on in, right onto this patio villa, and the first thing you see is this huge bird cage right onto the porch. And if you look in the distance, look at those window treatments. They put different style shutters. The bird cage back here, that thing goes all the way up to the front of the house, almost to the fencing. It just gives you a sidewalk, and that thing goes all the way around. So if you're looking for a large patio villa that you can come and sit out front, there's a nice overhang in the front. That's really nice, actually. You could put furniture out there and be in the shade and out of the bugs. Actually, if I was in the market for a patio villa and I wanted to spend a few extra bucks on it, that would be the one I'd get right here. The only drawback maybe is this 1-car garage. So I say it's a 1. It might be like a 1.5. I'm having battery issues, guys, so let's see if we can ride through here right quick before I can't. It may come down to where I may come back late this afternoon at the pretty time of the day on the opposite end. Instead of a sunrise, be a sunset kind of thing. Just later on in the day, and let me get my battery situation straightened out. But I'm gonna try to ride through here. Hopefully there's enough to get it done. But I'm just noticing these large, huge, not huge, but I say a nice sized bird cages, much bigger one than what they used to do. And then they didn't add bird cages to the haven. They came all the way out to the back and to the side. They didn't used to do any of that. But in this villa neighborhood, at least in this area, they done stuff that they didn't normally do. Here's where I mentioned about a 2-car garage. And look at the front doors. A little different design. Instead of the plain standard door look, they changed that too. Maybe it looks more cottagey or something. Looks like they've done them to all of them. These particular houses right here, they don't have any cages. Just no room to them, really. I'm not sure about the back on some of these. I don't look like it. No, the corner house, yes. Bird cages on that. This house, I think it got like an evergreen or some kind of plant like that. The foliage is more mature. They've actually planted some what I call living wall plants to block those green utility areas. Large bird cage. The biggest I've ever seen in any patio villa that was pre-built. They did a cutaway. They added that in here along with this. Now this is something that they would typically kind of do. And that would be about all you would get. And those shrubs are getting tall with those red blooms. I didn't used to see that either. That's really pretty. Lifestyle visit homes, and they really doctor them up. And they get people in and they get you to drink the Kool-Aid, and they just really entice you. You got those pretty shrubs, which I'm not a big fan of big shrubs really, but you do have those pretty red blooms up on top. Those are nice. I don't like Japanese boxwoods either. You constantly have to keep shaping them, as any hedge, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of foliage in this neighborhood. Different from what they normally would have done before in the past, especially with these large bird cages. Drop a comment below if you happen to know that these are going to be a lifestyle visit homes, which are nice. Like looking here, look at the back of these houses. See the extra landscaping and those, and look at that bird cage they did on the back of that house. They didn't used to do that stuff. Not at all. Now, when Susan and I bought ours, in most of the neighborhoods that you would typically see, you got basically bare bones. You didn't get mature foliage like this. You know, they didn't put, you know, these little blue my minds over here and then limestones, and you didn't get none of that stuff. And off on the other side right here, those are cottage homes. Beautiful cottage home. There's something I didn't notice. Look at all the back of these patio villas. They all have bird cages. I'd have wished that when we bought our home that they had done bird cages, and they just did extra features that they, you know, like they didn't give us anything. You didn't even get quartz countertops. You didn't even get screened in porches, nothing. You know, unless you bought one of these kind of models where it came with it, of course. You know, the little lanai area behind the golf cart garage, those are standard. I'm seeing some new models in here. My battery can hold out on me. Let's try to flip right quick. And let me show my viewers out there what I mean by a new model. At least it looks like it from the outside. A little different design. I say that here in the inner area, these are smaller patio homes. There's a haven. It's about 1,000 square foot. Is that a retreat? Anyway, haven. They garaged them. They didn't used to. At least in the neighborhood I was in, they didn't do it. But now this particular house, I don't know if you can see that due to the sun. That's the only issue. It would happen to pop out right as I pulled up. You got the bird cage with all that beautiful foliage right here. It's got a nice large screened in, you know, your bird cage. And look at those two windows. And if you look at that bird cage back here, there's no access to it from inside the house. You got to come out the front door and walk around to go sit inside your bird cage. So if you're looking for a patio villa, you know, and you love these, of course, with all the mature foliage, which is funny because it's usually when they put them in, they're really tiny, you know, but I think they try to make this look much more established. And I want to say these are coming across to me as lifestyle visits for now. I don't know. You'd have to talk to the villages and ask them what the deal is on these. Their haven, they're putting in those little picket fences right here. That's something that they did not used to do either. We had a haven when we first bought our vacation home. It was a haven, and you did not get a fence. Certain models did and others did not. Now they're putting them in. It looks like almost all of them. And then on this side, they don't have them at all. But on this end, they do. So now havens are coming with cottage fencing. You know, I mean, it could be that just because they look so cottagey, that's what they're doing now. And it's different. They come out the front. I knew somebody who did that, and it didn't come out looking right. Let me back up. If you get a house that does not have one and you want to put one of those little cottage fences up on there, don't put it right up against the screen or the house. It doesn't look right. if you notice, they have the pad and the screened in section right here, and then you come out to a little sidewalk, and then the fence is on front of that. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Foliage here on the side of the house. Now, these are going to be all gas hookups. Once again, the Villages did all of this very cottagey on a haven, lime rock. That haven right here, all that foliage. They even put those plants with the red tops way behind the fence. I'm sorry guys, I'm tripping a little bit because I don't mean to be focusing on what may seem silly. It's just because we had a patio villa, and I've been through a million of them, and I'm noticing such different changes that they're doing to these compared to what they historically wouldn't do. So you got the cottage fence now, you got the foliage on the front, and then you've got those tall bushes with the red blooms on top. It's pretty. It looks pretty and cottagey, but guess what? You've got maintenance to do, man. All of that maintenance, and they put one of those red top blooms on the side of that. So you've got maintenance to do. Now, I like those bushes. They're beautiful in of themselves. But you know what I see? As soon as you trim those down, you cut them all off. You cut the blooms out because those are just too tall. Perhaps they'll bloom at a lower height too, you know. Once you trim them down, they'll grow back. They'll bloom at a new height. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna flip it around here. I had no intentions on hanging around in here this long. I guess I just noticing something different from what they would typically done, you know. It's just amusing to me. So I feel like these are going to be lifestyle visits, but we'll see. I'll have to try to find out and put it in the description down below if these are going to be sold as normal, or they're going to do something with these first for a while before they sell them. All those have got cages. Alright guys, so we're going to head out of here. I've had enough fun tripping out. All I'm doing is rambling on now. We're going to go ahead and cut this video off. It's been going on quite long enough. Just interesting how it proves what I've always thought all along. They can do stuff if they want to do it. If they want to be cheap about it and not add extra features, that's what it boils down to. It's not that they can't, it's are they going to want to. So we'll see what they call this neighborhood. I have no idea. But the street's called Tremblay Trail. So are these going to be Tremblay Villas? We'll come back and check it out. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please drop me a like, leave a comment below, and please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, you know. And if you do, click that notification bell because it will notify you as to when I upload new content. So as far as reference goes, you're looking at the village of Oak Hollow.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be